Welcome, everybody. This is QR Dizzle. I'm your host, Paul Serini. Tonight on the live program, Pinball Massacre Survivor Mode. I got destroyed. Kevin Smith Bizarro comic review. Comic unwrapping. Milly Alcock doing more damage to Supergirl's box office. European heatwave chaos. My quantum recall debut. Of course I say radio. Join and sound off. Quantum recall, #live. No, hashtag quantum recall, hashtag live, hashtag comics. Welcome, everybody. Wow. You would not believe what hell I had today returning to the local brewery down there in the south, Locavore, for a pinball tournament against very many heavyweights. I was slaughtered. It was a bloodbath, and I was the chum for Jaws. It was a horrible experience. I've been so involved in my radio show prep, my TV show prep, that I have just neglected practicing pinball, and I have not been playing as well. And but I've been missing it. So today I was like, I'm going down there. I don't care how badly I play. I was afraid to go play. I was like Ralph Macchio in The Karate Kid when he's complaining and crying like a baby to Mr. Miyagi. I'm afraid. And I was afraid to go and lose. And boy, did I lose big time. Trust me, I lost big time. But the truth is, I'm not starting from zero. I'm recommitting. I'm doubling down on training with it, probably on a daily basis. I live very close to One Up Arcade in Westminster here, and I'm going to be there for 1 or 2 hours a day, just training, practicing. I just sent out an email looking to try and join a pinball league up at a place called Tilt Pinball over here in Louisville, because I don't want to drive that far to do it, but I want the extra experience and time competing so that I can go compete better. When it's been a long time and I haven't played against other people, I start getting very nervous. I get very anxious. I had an exceptional warm-up game today when I was playing Pokemon, and it just so happens I thought, oh, maybe that's a good omen, but then it just all fell apart. It was a horrible experience. I'm gonna get my mojo back. You understand? I'm getting in the swing again. I've seen other guys do that too, that where they're performing exceptionally well, and then all of a sudden something happens and their skill dips way down, and it's probably because when you don't practice, pinball is a skill that decays, and it's extremely frustrating. But I love the sport, and I'm going to continue the sport, and I'm passionate about the sport. And like I said, I'm not starting at zero. I have a lot of know-how with a lot of games, a lot of strategy built in. I'm even going to start watching YouTube videos again, because I know when I'm watching other guys play, they proved it with basketball years ago. When you're watching people practice, it's almost the same as practicing for real. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be watching some amazing, excellent players on YouTube to improve my game. And if I seem like I'm going on and on, well, I have to complain to somebody, because I had an exceptionally bad game today and it did not make me happy. But let's move on, shall we? I want to move on from that. 2 things I want to do right now. I have a pinball. I have a comic book review I'm going to do, and I also have a package here. I got sent a package. What's in this package? I'm going to open it right here, right now with you. Shall I use the scissors like a conventional man? Or no, I think instead I'm going to use I think this is called a K-bar knife. I will use this for self-defense. It's hidden on my person, and if I ever feel like I am genuinely endangered, some mofo gonna be surprised when I pull out my blade and I start cutting to defend myself, and we'll deal with it in court later. But no, truthfully, I would only use it for self-defense, not for offense. But if someone's attacking me, but then the police will come, like in Britain, they'll be like, oh, never mind. I'll get blamed. Oh my. Careful now. We don't want to mess up the contents. I wonder what's in here. I don't know what's in here. Who do I want to thank for sending it to me? Okay, I'm pretending like this was sent to me unbeknownst to me, which is not the case. I ordered these on eBay. And so what they are is what they should be. What I'm expecting is that they are the third or no, the second and third edition of, here we go, Pounds of Power, featuring the character Johnny, whose superpower is produced by his fat reserves. I can't wait to read through these, and I already have pre-ordered the fourth one of the series at I Want More Comics over there in Thornton, and I think it's only going to be a 1 through 4 series, but so I'm excited to read these. I kind of like how on this one right here, you can see that the would-be Ralphie May character is in a superhero shirt. It says SM. I'm wondering, what is SM? Superman? No, of course not. But like SM, what does SM stand for? Because his name is Johnny, and you can there's no way you can disguise that guy like Clark Kent. That wasn't even conceivable either. But let's move on, shall we? I'm happy to have those. I've been waiting daily. I've been like, it's been hourglass syndrome at my front door waiting for those to come. Now, here's something that's kind of exciting also. This is a new comic book called Bizarro, a new version of Bizarro. Have you ever heard of Bizarro, kind of like the alternate universe Superman who's very weird and opposite of Superman? In the old Hall of Justice, I recall this character talking like, me, Bizarro, ugh. And so, but in this comic book, it's very strange because this character Bizarro speaks in a very regular, articulate manner. However, he looks very bizarre. Aesthetically, he's not pleasing. He's a very ugly looking version of Superman with very gnarly looking teeth. I don't know. So I don't know when I'm thinking like the old Bizarro on the cartoons I used to watch when I was little, he wasn't aesthetically disturbing to me. The S was backwards. They don't put the S backwards on this Bizarro. I don't know why. But everything in Bizarro's universe, which from this origin story in this comic book here, basically he created his universe where he lives, inspired by the regular universe that we live in. He copied the Daily Planet, and he copied all sorts of people, and instead of having a round globe as the Daily Planet, it's like a cube. And what's unique about this comic book, which is not unique, is so it was written by Kevin Smith, and it has a nice tone and a nice flow. It was written by Kevin Smith and Eric Carrasco. I don't know how you pronounce your last name, bud. But Kevin Smith and Eric Carrasco wrote this treatment in here, and the first several pages are just Perry White, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet, and what the heck is the name of Jimmy, the little reporter dude trying to get a job there. And that went on a little too long before those guys kind of inadvertently got thrust into some kind of alternate universe where there was Bizarro. And I wasn't bored reading it. I enjoyed reading it. And I have the second copy here too. I went over to, what is it? I think it's called Hall of Justice Comics is what it's called in Westminster. Is that what they're called? I'll have to look it up because when I refer to these guys, I want to get the name right. That guy over there, I want to say he might be the owner. He's so nice because I get this intense feeling of fear of missing out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's the first issue and it's not going to be there when I go try to buy it. And so Kevin Smith wrote this, and that adds to like my feverish intensity wanting to buy it and not wanting to miss out on it. So I call him on the phone, this guy, and I say, would you put 2 of those aside? And this is a normal practice for them. They put it aside with your name. And I think that's so nice of them to do that. You don't have to put a deposit or anything. He just knows me by face now. And when I say I'm coming to get it, he's like, oh yeah, okay, of course you can come and get it. So this comic book store where I got this, they have this enormous, gigantic Hulk in there. It's like the centerpiece of the store. And it was made when, I don't remember what the heck version of the Hulk this was. It was Chinese director. I know the actor's name, but I'm forgetting it right now, and I don't feel like looking it up. It was before the guy who plays Hulk right now. It was not a popular version of the movie. Nick Nolte was his father in it, if that helps you. If the name comes back to me, I don't want to go look the actor up. I don't want to waste my energy looking the actor up. I need my mind to function well, but I've had a very tired day, an emotionally up and down day. I mowed my lawn. I loved that. I listened to Paul McCartney when I mowed my lawn. I wore a mask so that I wouldn't breathe in dust. And then I took a very relaxing shower, which was very nice. And then I went down to get pulverized in pinball, which was no, it was okay. I had good conversations with people down there. I'm just like feeling downtrodden from going from being, hey, like I'm getting better at pinball to, wow, I'm really feeling like I'm sucking. And I'm playing in another tournament tomorrow because, like I told you, I'm doubling down. I'm afraid because on the 1st of July, I have to go to the doctor. This is a different kind of fear. It's not Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid fear. I'm afraid. It's afraid of getting my toenail cut off on the 1st of July because I've said before that I have this toenail problem that's profusely bothering me. And that's part of like why it's difficult to stand on my feet. It's just not good. And I will be delighted if they remove my toenail and it resolves this problem finally, because this problem has been bugging me lately. All right, so I'm going to move on now to the next thing. And this is an interesting topic to me. I talked about this on my Quantum Recall debut this week, which was awesome. I'll get to that in a little bit. But this is about Supergirl damage control. Milly Alcock is at it again, trying to save her butt from saying silly things that are detracting men from wanting to see Supergirl. Dun, 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 dun. My delivery is sort of like a superficial radio man, but it's performance art for me. Understand? That's why I got to be silly when I do this. Of course she's a beautiful woman. Even at the comic book store when I went to buy the Bizarro mags, the guys there started saying, "Have you seen Supergirl?" There. I'm laughing because they're perfectly nice guys, but I'm hearing a lot of people talking about it. Nate from Speed Sultan was talking about it on his vlog, and it was funny because he's like, I feel like because he's kind of in this business where everyone is appreciating him, sending him stuff, he doesn't want to say anything bad about anyone, and I have this feeling, and maybe I'm wrong, that he does not want to badmouth Supergirl because it might like close a door in his face or something. But no, dude, Nate, if you don't like it, say so. He's like, it's an 8.0 to me out of 10. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you, I haven't seen it, but I bet it's not even that good. Everything I've been hearing about it is not good. And so I will drink dog vomit before I pay a single solitary penny to see that movie, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just serious. I feel that way about some things. I felt that way about the new, I can't remember what the name of the new Wizard of Oz movie was with Ariana Grande. What the heck was that? I said that I would rather eat or drink dog vomit before seeing that movie. And I've seen it available on streaming services, and I'm like, nope, not going to watch that movie. No, sirree, Bob. But anyway, in the comic book store, when these guys are like, did you see, I'm doing it again. Did you see Supergirl? And they're like, no, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it. And so I was like, yeah, I haven't heard good things about it. And they're like, neither have I. But I was like, very comfortable in saying, okay, Milly Alcock is not an ugly, unattractive person. Not in the slightest is she an physically unattractive person. That's just not, it's mean-spirited in my opinion that people take that approach to that poor young woman. She's just like a young woman who's getting, but honestly, the fault here is it mainly has to do with the movie studios who haven't taught her anything about, one moment, my goodness, about one single solitary thing about marketing a movie. That's what I wanted to bring up. I need to go to 2 minutes in this. 2 minutes is where I'm going to play this from. So she's going around saying very dumb stuff, which is like, well, yeah, if you had any clue about marketing, you would not be saying something so silly and foolish about Superman. The brand is Superman. Going way back, going back half a century, the brand is Superman. Everything that derives from Superman, like Supergirl, you are derivative of Superman, and you can't be disrespecting Superman and like making it sound like men are idiots and Superman's an idiot who needs Superman. You're disrespecting the brand, the history of the brand, the legend. It makes no sense. Superman is the original GOAT, and she just says the silliest things. But let me play this for you, and I'll make commentary on it as I go.
First, by what they had to say, so let's jump into that. Now, with the Supergirl backlash and box office disaster only getting worse, with the more Hollywood actors decide to attack the public, and that's another thing, by the way, for criticizing the movie by James Gunn and starring Milly Alcock, one major development going on now involves more to do with Milly herself, seemingly losing her mind after the backlash grew to an
Wait. Like, let's go back just a little bit. I want to point out how here's the shot of her, and she's not a physically unattractive person by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. She's physically stunning and beautiful and gorgeous. I love her teeth. I love her face. But I was going off on her a little bit the other day when I was doing Quantum Recall because she's got an annoying personality. And I know, like I was even saying on there, I would not date her. And like people probably laugh, like, why the hell would she date me? But the truth is I would not date her because her personality just rubs me the wrong way. And and so people are like, she's too young for you. I'm not talking about the age. I'm just talking about the disposition, the arrogance that she exudes. But let me continue with this now.
James Gunn and starring Milly Alcock, one major development going on now involves more to do with Milly herself.
She's a little bit more unattractive in that screenshot right there. Let's take a closer look at that. Like, this is definitely not a good look on her. It's a little more butterface. But she's distressed in that moment, I can see in the movie. But still not an ugly person to me. Carry on, please. Keep talking. Because the quote from her here is really the stunning part that I put this on the side for.
Seemingly losing her mind after the backlash grew to an astronomical level for DC Studios and WB, where Milly delivered the following. Well, I will just get this out of the way real fast. When you see this movie, you will learn why Kara Zor-El is just so much stronger than Superman, you know, Kal-El.
All right. You see what I mean? Disrespecting the brand. Like, you have to respect the brand. You should be knowing that your whole notoriety being Supergirl descends from Superman and the legend of Superman, the notoriety and the fame of Superman, and you're disrespecting him, and it sounds like it's because man-hater stuff. And so he's Superman. He originated the whole idea, the whole universe of coming to Earth from Krypton and having superpowers from the sun, and that's where you get your super... Like, why in the world do you think it makes sense to go around and saying that? And so if I were the studio head, I'd be like, young lady, what are you doing? I'm putting you on ice. Stop talking about it in public because all you're doing is making things worse. So they're like hemorrhaging money, and she's acting like it's all good. It's not all good. You have no business savvy or sense about like marketing a film. Totally, obviously. I'm not even in the business, and what I'm saying makes obvious, perfect sense to me.
You find that out in so many different ways in this movie, and it's also a great message that we need more powerful women in movies and television.
I mean, who says so? We need more. There are so many movies. We just had the most boring Star Wars trilogy in the world. The new one, you know, The Force Awakens, and those three sucked so bad. There was no journey in that woman. That one really sucked. That character in that one, Rey. And so what I hate about these women who are whining and moaning who are in these movies now, they have some kind of weird attitude because it's not about how likable women aren't in enough movies. It's that your attitude has changed and you become arrogant. I don't remember anything in the 80s arrogant or the 70s when, for example, Sigourney Weaver was in Alien or Aliens. Those were amazing movies, and she was awesome in them. Linda Hamilton was an awesome action lady in Terminator 2. But the attitude has shifted. where you always have to come out and say some kind of man hater thing, and you're not getting the connection between men are predominantly the ones wanting to go see these movies and paying to see these movies because you are beautiful and you're hot, but there's a disconnect between what you think and reality because you think you can say these things and not hurt the box office. Men want to think that they could get you. And so when you insult men, they're not going to want to see your movie, even if you're hot, because you're irritating. And I mean, like, that is honestly how I feel about it. She's learning a lesson the hard way. That's damn sure. Alrighty. That's Mike Zero reporting this. It reminds me of women in the NBA thinking that they are equal to men, but when you look at the economics of the situation, you don't produce nearly the amount of money that the NBA does. It's not the same situation. And sometimes I've thought, is this why like certain women of a certain variety are always like fouling really hard on another certain women of a certain variety in the WNBA because they can't thrive on talent, so they're trying to bring people in with extra violence like hockey does or something? We're tired of the sexism, ladies. Can't we just live in a world where we're living harmoniously with one another? It's just the holier than thou attitude that some of these younger starlets are bringing to the movie industry, and that's really what I'm bemoaning right now. Speaking of women, bemoaning women. You notice I have these glasses tonight that I'm wearing, and what I want to show you is a tweet from Justine Bateman this week. It's upsetting to me a little bit, okay? I don't know if we're going to be able to read it. Oh, yeah, it's working. Let me just try and get it centered better. All right. Justine Bateman says, F your surveillance sunglass cameras. Anyone wearing these is an instant social pariah. Seriously, F off, both of you. I don't think that's fair. Well, she's talking about Meta glasses, and right here, so I'm not a fan of Kardashians either, but you know what? I went and I bought a pair of Meta glasses because I want to be able to play pinball and wear these glasses filming and be hands-free filming my pinball playing. But there's a lot of hypocrisy in this to me, Justine, and meanness. It's just innate meanness, and I like Justine. She says a lot of intelligent-based things that I really appreciate and admire, but I don't think people should be going around filming people surreptitiously either, but there are use cases for these glasses that don't have to do with trying to harm everyone. And so you see that it's what they are on the face. They have cameras on them, but everyone has their phones. And if they want to film, they're going to be filming anyway. And if you're bitching about people filming surreptitiously, I agree. But shaming everyone who has the glasses isn't fair. There are use cases with these glasses where like deaf people can have something put on the glasses where they can actually read subtitles of what people are saying. And when you're in foreign countries, the glasses can hear what someone's saying and they can translate it and put a translation. That's an amazing use case that justifies the use of these glasses. I wish Justine would just be a little nicer. So I was like, I'm thinking that'll be cool. I'll get some of these glasses and I'll be able to play pinball and film hands-free and include that in some of my vlogging of my pinball exploits. And then I hear her say this and I'm like, oh, man, that's mean. That's harsh. Like if you see me wearing a Ray-Ban Meta glasses, you're going to have harsh things to say and you're going to judge my character without taking into consideration that I would not be filming you without your permission. And so everybody has a phone and they're doing it whether you like it or not. A lot of people will pick up their phone and film you whether you like it or not. It's the world we live in. And in all these environments, so you're in an environment where you're filming me with your eyes, but are you noticing the camera on the wall in a lot of public places where you are constantly filming you, or lights at traffic cameras? Or that I can't drive out of my neighborhood without someone catching me on a camera that they have hooked on their garage? Or that I can't go to my backyard where my fence is open to my neighbor's yard and they have a camera on their house? Cameras are everywhere, but you wanna isolate out people with glasses because they're made by Meta? It's just too much. And I'm not super fond of the Kardashians either. I know that's who you were kind of criticizing right here, is that Which Kardashian is this? Does it say? It's a new way to share your Kylie Jenner. Okay. Kylie Jenner. Okay. I'll close out of that really quick. But seriously, no, I did my Quantum Recall debut this week, and that was really good for me. It was fun. I feel burned out. I've been working so hard on that, and people might watch and go, really? But like, yeah, there's a lot involved in the production, and I do recommend people check that out. If you're watching this stream or you like what you're seeing here, that's my flagship show, and you can find everything revolving around that by going to quantumrecall.tv, and you can find previous episodes of QR Dizzle, which is what I'm doing right now, my cute little well-produced sideshow, which is easier to get up and running. And I'm running low on time. Dag nabbit. Summer heat waves in Europe. My dad and sister are in Italy, and my dad loves Italy. My dad loves Italy to the point where he drives my mom a little crazy with all the time. He's always loving Italy and criticizing the United States just because he comes from there. He's an immigrant who comes from there, and he loves it. And so do I love it. I'm a first generation Italian from two places, and I love Italy too. But so what's funny is he's in Italy right now. He decided to go in June, and all of a sudden the heat wave is making it insane. And he and my sister had to cut out their trip to Europe, or no, their trip to Rome. They cut it in half because Rome is like 5 degrees more hot than my dad's hometown, a couple hours south of Rome. And it's sort of funny. I'm going to play a little bit of this video here because it's just, wait a minute. Oh, what's going on? Oh, okay, forget it. I'm not signed in. Dude, not cool. Wasting time signing in. All right. Here we go. No commercials now. So this is funny. They just show people. There's like almost no dialogue. And then when they have dialogue, it's from very boring people. And it's near the Coliseum, and it's very hot. And they just show people pouring water, walking around with umbrellas, roasting their bottoms off. Understandably, it's very hot and humid there. And you know what's interesting about humidity? Humidity, like, something happens when there's humidity, and you don't just have warmer. You reach a certain level, and it gets precipitously more uncomfortable, like extra percentage more uncomfortable. Very poorly said, but very true. Continue on, pretty lady. Boring us, I might add.
We need water, a hat for your face because it's burning.
She's not speaking very well.
Sunscreen is very important, and shadow. The trees.
All the obvious things. We need shadow when it's warm.
Yeah.
You ever think of that?
It's better than the full sun.
So, but like what I was thinking earlier is they got these very dull people saying something like that. Yeah, we need water. I want them to film my dad because he'll be like dramatic about it. And he'll be like, oh, my dad's calling on the phone like, oh, the heat. It's very kind of funny, but I understand he's uncomfortable. My dad's always uncomfortable. When my dad comes to pick me up and we go do stuff for business, we're in his car, and it doesn't even matter if it's like chilly in the springtime. He has the air conditioner blowing on full blast. It could be 90 degrees outside, and I have to bring a coat for his car because of the way he likes to chill it. But my dad, they're coming back soon, but it was really kind of funny how he was bemoaning the heat. And so that's it. That's all I got. I'm at 29 minutes, 20 seconds, and I want to start wrapping this show up because it's time. I want to keep these very small, very concise, in and out like that. Like I was so tired from pinballing and mowing my lawn today, I didn't want to come and do this. But if you're one of the amazing people who tuned in tonight, hello. I hope you like this. I hope that you share this. I hope you enjoyed this. In the future, I'll get the comment feature working on this computer so people can interact and say things. But if you want to know more about QR Dizzle and especially Quantum Recall, you might as well just think of it as the Paul Sereni experience. Because people are like, what's Quantum Recall? It's basically just me putting the name Quantum Recall on it. You know, Motley Crue, they named themselves Motley Crue. Metallica, they named themselves Metallica. Quantum Recall is mysterious. stuff of the universe, mysterious little things about everything, this, that, and the other thing. And so go to quantumrecall.tv. Check out my small little archive I have. I'm going to be doing probably one of these a week, one of each of these a week, Quantum Recall and the other one. But I'm going to let you go now because I'm over 30 minutes, 30 seconds. And tune in on Thursday, 12:30 p.m. I believe I'm going to be here, or it's going to be Wednesday, because we have to go pick up my dad from the airport where he's not going to be freezing or burning up from the heat in Italy. In any case, everybody, peace be with you all.